after a bit of a shaky start to the game, you must be delighted to come through in the end with flying colours.
Oh yeah, look, when you get to the last 16 of this competition, it's a tough match whoever you're playing. So we were really pleased to come through that. We knew the threats that they possessed. They're a strong side. You know, they've got strong ball carriers, as we saw in that first sort of 10 minutes. So it was important that we actually stayed balanced. It didn't faze us. You know, lads have been talking about that, making sure that any mistake doesn't knock us off track, and it didn't. You know, we just got back on with our work, and eventually we came through.
When it was 3 scores from 3 mistakes, did it take a while for your guys, having not played together for a while, to get together?
Yeah, look, we kind of knew it was going to take a bit of time with regards to you know, the guys being away. Some had injuries. We did rest a few guys last week. You know, that was important because they'd put a lot into a chunk of rugby before. So inevitably, that's the difficult bit, coming in off the international window, regrouping, and it's something we're learning and we're getting better at all the time. So look. Delighted to obviously get the win, but equally a lot to work on, and we'll definitely be better for that next week.
Your driving game and your close range work went really well today. Yeah,
look, we obviously look to try and convert when we get pressure moments. We try and convert close to their line. We saw off a few bits. We had a few goes where we perhaps weren't as clinical as we'd like to, but you know, we'll have a look at that, dust ourselves off. One thing's for sure, we'll definitely be better next week.
Scrum went really well. Line out, maybe not quite so good.
Yeah, look, you know, sometimes that little bit of work, and Johnny's, you know, the side of things, he's calling for the first time in a number of weeks. He's played very rarely for us, so even going through the process of the week will be important and be crucial for moving forward. But look, our scrum, you know, at the end there was completely dominant to get a penalty try is fantastic. Sort of those guys that were on the field then really did put their hand up, you know. But equally, the guys that started as well had worked, you know, put a lot of work in, and we knew we had to fatigue them.
Did it come at a bit of a cost with a few injury worries then in the second half?
No, I think we're okay. We'll obviously assess them as they go on, but it's a few guys needed some, you know, miles in the legs, you know, so to speak. To be fair, you know, the tempo we play at, we do demand a lot of them, and if they're out of this environment, they do sometimes struggle. So it will be important to play in the matches at this tempo, and the speed that we're trying to play the game at is crucial for their overall conditioning. And if they've been outside the environment, they're not used to it. So it's tended to be those guys that struggle a little bit, but equally I think they've all come through in the end.
And a quarter-final next week, a match almost befitting a final against Leinster. So that's a mouthful to prospect.
Yeah, look, it's exciting. As soon as the draw was made, you know your path through these 2 rounds. So most important things we focused on today, and say we'll have a good look at Leinster and hopefully put our best performance out of the season.
Will memories of that game at the Aviva, when you were probably a little bit hard done by, sort of come into it next week?
No, I think, look, both sides have probably moved on. There's a lot of things happened since. I think certainly we're a lot more experienced than we were that day. So it's important to make sure we touch up on the improvements, and there were quite a few there. But we are capable. The guys are mature now. They can dust those things off and make those adjustments very quickly now. So we've got some improvements to make, but equally, I'm confident we'll do that. And as I say, it'll be a cracking game. They'll go after it, and we're coming straight after it as well.